false recovery is the attempt of a person once burned and hypothetically twice shy to ignore the learning of painful experience and to return to the blissful state of ignorance that previously prevailed. Christ warned as well in the gospel accounts of the danger of such self-defeating foolishness, particularly among people who, through bitter experience, should and even do know better. He that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. Luke 12:48. In comparison, that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. 12:47. The passage concludes with this dire warning: For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required, and to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. Also Luke 12:48. Young states in this regard. Take as an example a businessman who takes too great a risk and consequently goes bankrupt. If he does not allow himself to be discouraged by this depressing experience, but, undismayed, keeps his former daring, perhaps with a little salutary caution added, his wound will be healed without permanent injury. But if, on the other hand, he goes to pieces, abjures all further risks, and laboriously tries to patch up his social reputation within the confines of a much more limited personality, doing inferior work with the mentality of a scared child in a post far below him, then technically speaking, he will have restored his persona in a regressive way. Formerly, perhaps he wanted more than he could accomplish. Now he does not even dare to attempt what he has it in him to do. The moral of the story? Do not look back at what you have left behind once you have learned to look forward in a better direction. Do not return to a road you have once trod when you have learned that it leads in a downward direction. Do not long for what you now recognize as evil, or pay the price. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord, and he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the plain, and beheld